CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Karen Greer. We've got a lot coming up in this next half hour. One of them, the U.S. Surgeon General, says 1 in 7 Americans face some type of substance abuse addiction. We're going to talk to a psychologist about how you can spot substance abuse at home or even in the office. And school's out for the summer. We all know it's up to you, the parents, to keep your kids off of those electronic devices all day long, right? And do you know the 7 superfoods you should consider to be a healthier you? Some of these may actually be news to you. But first, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention releases new data on the number of measles cases here in the U.S. Local doctors have launched a campaign called Mission Measles to educate families about the disease. And that brings us to our first guest on Public Affairs on Peach, Dr. John DeStito with the American Family Health Care. You are going to put me to the test, so don't embarrass me too badly, Dr. John.
I'll try not to.
Let's take this test. The first question is, the disease was wiped out? Here it is. The measles virus stays in the air after the infected person leaves the room. I would say true.
That is correct.
Woo!
The measles virus can stay in the air up to 2 hours after the person leaves the room. It's very contagious.
Okay, and the next question is, which is very interesting that they can do that. Let's see our next question. There are natural ways to prevent measles. False.
That is absolutely correct. There are no natural remedies to prevent measles. The only sure way to prevent measles is to be vaccinated.
And a lot of people have been vaccinated years prior, so we're finding some interesting things. We'll talk about that coming up. And we have another question. Adults don't need to worry about getting measles. False.
That is correct.
Whew.
Adults do need to worry about getting measles, and especially people who are born in 1957 or afterwards need to make sure that they've had at least 1 dose of the measles vaccine. If you're a college student, if you're an international traveler, if you're a healthcare worker, you need to have at least 2 doses of the measles vaccine 28 days apart. So it's especially important to remember that adults can get measles. If you're unsure if you've had the measles vaccine, or if you can't find your record, you can come into American Family Care. We can do a blood test to see if you have immunity, and we'll take it from there. If you haven't, you can get the measles vaccine.
Right there on the spot. Okay, and we've got another question. Pregnant women cannot get vaccinated. I would say, I'll play with this one. False?
That's partially correct. So we're not recommending that pregnant women get the measles vaccine, but what we are recommending as soon as you deliver that you should get the measles vaccine.
Okay.
So it's also safe to get the flu vaccine and whooping cough vaccine while you're pregnant, but not the measles vaccine.
Okay, could be dangerous to the unborn baby.
That's correct.
Okay, great. And do we have any more questions, Janet? Okay, that was our last question. So interesting. Disease actually wiped out in the U.S. 20 years ago? That's
Right.
it?
Yes. So what happened is there was a big push to get rid of measles in the United States, so people were vaccinated. Before 1957, there was a lot of outbreaks of measles, so people had natural immunity by having had the disease. But from 1957 onward, there was a push to have vaccinations, 2 vaccines as a child, and that pretty much wiped out measles in the United States. But because measles is still a worldwide disease, it's making a comeback in the United States because of travelers that come in the United States.
And we're seeing 23 states right now with active measles cases.
That's correct. The CDC, the latest report said that there are 880 reported cases in 24 states, including Georgia.
That is amazing. So what are we attributing this to, really? I mean, people who were maybe never vaccinated, or that they needed that booster?
That's correct. People that were never vaccinated, especially people after 1957, like we talked about, and also people who travel outside the United States where vaccines weren't so prominent, and they're bringing the measles illness back into the United States.
How long has it been standard for you to be vaccinated?
From 1957 onward, there was a big push. So each child, if you were going to school in the United States,
Right.
you needed to have 2 vaccines of the MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. And because they did that so voraciously,
Oh, yeah.
we wiped out the measles pretty much from the United States.
Now, you have a lot of parents who feel like that vaccination, along with other ones, gives children autism.
Yes, the top docs at the CDC have stated without question that vaccines do not cause autism. Now, while the measles vaccine uses a very low dose of the live virus, you can't get measles from the vaccine and you can't spread it if you get the vaccine.
All right, but is that one of those that you rather get the measles and then you're fine, or you still need to get a vaccine?
You probably need to get the vaccine. So certainly if you don't know if you've had the vaccine, or if you can't find your records, then you need to have a blood test to see if you have immunity, if you've had the measles before, if you had the vaccine.
Final question, can measles kill you?
Measles is very dangerous. Most people are going to have a very mild form of the illness, but it's especially dangerous for children who might get blindness, deafness, or even die from from measles virus. So,
All right, Dr. John, you're awesome. We could have you here all day. Thank you so much.
thank you so much.
All right, if you want to participate in Mission Measles, just go to the American Family Cares website at afcurgentcare.com. And it's easier said than done getting your children off of those electronic devices. We're going to talk to a licensed therapist who says it is important, and she has some great tips on how you can do it. We'll be right back.